Hi everyone, welcome to another special edition of the Register Guard Prep Football Press Box. I'm Ben Schorzman, prep reporter here at the Register Guard, and it's week 2 of the playoffs, so that means a lot of things, including the fact that we're only down to 7 teams, which is the most exciting thing of all. Now things get really into the nitty-gritty where really the cream of the crop is starting to rise, and we're getting a little bit more of an idea of where teams are going to be in the coming weeks and where they're going to shake things out. So let's get right into it with what we're going to be doing this week. I'm going to be at the Class 5A quarterfinals, number 5 Ashland at number 4 Springfield, a rematch in the Midwestern League game from about a month ago when Springfield beat Ashland 44-21. But we have, looking around the area, we have Sheldon at home in the second round with a chance to move on to the quarterfinals for a 10th straight year, which is a crazy impressive thing. The Irish play number 20 Sunset, which upset Sprague on the road last week. So it looks like another easy week for Sheldon before things step up a notch next week with Central Catholic if they end up beating their opponent, Clackamas, in the state second round. Moving on down to Class 4A, we have 2 teams, North Bend and Marshfield, still alive. Both of them a little bit different circumstances. Marshfield is actually on the road at Scappoose, which would take a big miracle for them to pull that one out. Scappoose has been rolling teams this year. Meanwhile, North Bend got a little bit of a break last week when North Marion upset number 2 Sisters. So North Bend, which thought its season at home was done last week, now gets another home game, so they don't have to travel before what potentially could be another home game next week if Marshfield ends up winning, which would be crazy to have a Coast Civil War for a chance to move on to the state title game. Class 3A, 1 team left, Harrisburg. They won, but they play at Santiam Christian this week, a rematch of the first game of this season, which Santiam Christian won. The Eagles, they're both the Eagles, so Harrisburg defeated Santiam Christian in last year's Class 3A, I think, quarterfinals. So these teams are very familiar with another, and could be another good matchup. And at 2A, Central Lynn hosts Stanfield, which upset my Vernonia Loggers last week in the first round. The number 1 ranked Cobras are rolling. They have a rush offense that's been rushed for more than 3,200 yards, so they're all on the ground all in the time, but looking to move on to the state semifinals for the first time in a long time. And then lastly, Duffer is at number 2 ranked young Kalla in Class 1A, something that I'm looking forward to. The Eagles haven't made the playoffs in more than 10 years. This is the first time since 2003 that they've been in the playoffs. So for them, this is a game against always a perennial good Duffer team to get the ball rolling and get in the semifinals. I really like that. I really like the underdog story, the resurgence story. So to see teams like young Kalla and Central Lynn make these runs is fun. A little bit more about the game I'm at, though, Springfield Ashland. I'm excited for it because last time these 2 teams played, Ashland wasn't at full strength. Their 2 losses this year have come to Springfield and Crater. They're both a combined. It's a silly stat. I think they're combined like 19-1. So Ashland's lost to the cream of the crop in Class 5A, and they did it without starting quarterback Kyle Weinberg. Tucker Atterbury, a junior, started in his place and threw 5 interceptions against Springfield. And with Weinberg, who will start Friday for Ashland, they're a little bit different. But the big difference is going to be whether or not Ashland can stop Springfield rushing because of the fact they just killed them last time, raced off a bunch of points in the second half after piling up 451 yards on the ground, most of it by Trevor Watson, who should be coming back into the big, full strength. But the big news for the Millers is the fact that Nick Assam, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Midwestern League, will be back. I spoke with his mother, who said that he's got a cast on his right hand after breaking his wrist breaking his hand. They now have a better cast on it, and with one more week to heal and the doctor's clearance, he'll be good to go, which is a huge boost for the Millers, who are really looking to move on to the semifinals for the second straight year. That's kind of all she wrote. We'll be back with a special playoff performance next Friday night too, to see who's left. Most likely just Springfield and Sheldon and Central Lynn maybe, but we'll find out next Friday night. That's always the fun part about the playoffs. So you can follow me on Twitter at benshaws_RG. And you can also check out our website at registerguard.com/sports Friday night to see whatever we have going on. So appreciate it. For those of you who have watched, I don't know, would love to hear from you if you have, and talk to you next week.